say, we're joined now by the newly elected leader, Richard Braine. Thanks very much for talking to us this evening, and congratulations on your appointment. I believe you are the fifth UKIP leader to take the lead since Nigel Farage stood down. How are you going to change things for UKIP?
Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to unify the party. And don't forget that Brexit still hasn't been delivered. We're still waiting for it. The people voted for it nearly more than 3 years ago. And it's time this government actually delivered it. So we've got fingers crossed for October. But of course, don't forget that even if Boris Johnson does deliver it, the people that are trying to stop Brexit will continue. They'll keep on campaigning, and I've no doubt that they'll try to take us back into the European Union as soon as they can. So UKIP needs to stand up for what we have campaigned for 27 years and make sure that it gets delivered, and what's more, make sure that it doesn't get undone by, frankly, our Remainer Parliament that thinks it has the power to override the will of the British people.
You have swung to the far right in recent days. Your predecessor, Gerard Batten, brought the party into disrepute. The NEC fell out with him. I believe, though, you were put forward for the position by him and promised to make him your deputy. Is that going to be the case?
Well, let me first say that UKIP is absolutely not far right. That's a myth perpetuated by the press. It's, frankly, an insult to working class people.
As an advisor, weren't you?
And their concerns. So UKIP isn't far right. My view is that
you're using Tommy Robinson
moderate.
as an advisor recently. He's now in prison, of course, but people associate Tommy Robinson with the far right, don't they?
Well, they may do, but Tommy Robinson has never been a UKIP member, and he's actually banned from joining UKIP. He could join the Tories or he could join Labour, but he can't join UKIP. So it's quite wrong to say that he's associated with UKIP in that sense. But don't forget that Tommy Robinson has brought attention to...
We seem to have lost the connection there with Mr. Braine, the new leader of UKIP. Let's see if we can re-establish that connection. In the meantime, I'll bring... Well, I'm delighted to say that we've managed to re-establish the line with the brand new leader of UKIP, Richard Braine. Thank you very much for bearing with us, Richard. Just before we lost contact with you there, we were just discussing where you see yourself on the kind of political spectrum. A lot of people were saying that you'd moved to the far right with sort of anti-Islam stance and taking advice from Tommy Robinson. But I really wanted to pin you down on the point about Gerard Batten, who himself was forbidden from taking part in this leadership contest because he had brought the party into disrepute. He put you forward for this position, didn't he? Are you going to make him your deputy?
I have invited him to be my deputy, and he has said yes, so I hope so. But don't forget that UKIP has an elected NEC, unlike certain other parties. And so the NEC will make that decision in good time. So they will decide ultimately whether that appointment takes place.
So will it be a fresh start for UKIP then, if you're going to have Gerard Batten at your right hand, and given the particular direction that the party had been going in?
Well, I think it will be a fresh start. I'm not Gerard Batten. We don't agree on everything. We agree on many things, but, you know, I am the leader now, duly elected today, and I will do the job to the best of my ability to serve the members of UKIP who voted for me and to actually get the message of our manifesto out there. We have a fantastic manifesto. It's much better than the manifestos of the other parties, and I recommend people go and read it and understand what UKIP's really about, because unfortunately the press actually doesn't give us a fair hearing and continually labels us far right when we're not far right at all.
OK, but, I mean, are you actually cutting through to the electorate? I mean, in the recent by-election in Brecon and Radnorshire, you came in behind the monster raving loony party.
Well, UKIP actually has never done particularly well in that constituency. And also, you have to remember that in the years before 2010, you know, UKIP bumbled along on 1% or 2% or a few percent, but we were about to unleash an extraordinary revolution on the world. Why? Because we tell the truth about things that voters do care about. So don't write UKIP off. We've got a proud future ahead of us as well as a proud future behind us. And we've got fantastic policies, and we're going to be getting them out there, and people are going to pay attention to them, and we're going to climb up the polls and do well in the future. I'm absolutely certain of it.
Richard Braine, brand new leader of UKIP, thanks very much.
Thank you very much.